All right, welcome to the Shop Teacher Podcast with Mr. G, Mr. Barbercheck. We're back.
Yes, with an off-the-cuff episode dealing with the immediate situation at hand currently. But I think this
Corona.
What'd you just say? You talking about the beer or the virus?
I'm talking about the Corona. What does it look like? It's got like little receptors.
Not sure this is gonna age well.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty stupid.
But we're actually not talking about the coronavirus. We're singing about it.
We're gonna get demonetized because we said Corona. Why is that? What are we, children? You can't say Corona.
I didn't realize that was a thing. And
yeah, it's a thing. We had a staff meeting today, and the principal was afraid to say the word. He said, we have a situation going on here. And I was like, we're not 5. We know that there's, I can use Google to type in Corona. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Anyway, so what do we do, man? What do we do? What if we're my school is not canceled yet, but yet we have a lot of cases not far, like 15 minutes away. We got cases, bro.
What's the closest school that has canceled?
I think in New York, right above New York City is this place called New Rochelle, and I think they shut down not just the school, they shut the town, and they got the National Guard. Like, it's pretty serious over there.
Really?
Yeah, like you can't, it's like Italy. You can go to work, but you can't do anything else.
Wow. Well, we don't have anything happening. Well, we don't have anything happening yet at the local level, like the university level, yes, and that seems to be very common. The university.
Yeah, there's Michigan, right? Didn't they shut Michigan?
Michigan State?
I don't know. Did they?
The entire state, or what are you asking?
No, just the university.
U of A. Okay, yeah. There's like 40,000 Michigan universities.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I'll just say this. The map, it just happens to be there, but I live like in this part, the Upper Peninsula part of Michigan.
Yeah, you're UP.
It's not even attached to that part, So it's Michigan's a weird state. I think we're one of the only states besides someone who has islands, who's divided in thirds that way. But my point is, I didn't think it was gonna ever happen up here, and I just want we know nothing about this type of thing. Like, this is not you and I's forte, so we're not claiming. Right. We're gonna segue into remote teaching and learning, which is gonna be I think a timeless concept.
I cut you off. It's probably what you were gonna say in the beginning. Yeah.
but how I'm going to segue into that is I'm going to say 2 universities, the closest universities to me. I got one an hour to the west and one an hour to the east, and they don't. One has switched to remote learning, a remote learning platform, and one has already canceled school for tomorrow and the next day. As they assess the situation. So,
wow.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, listen, we're all gonna get it. It's the corones. That thing's pretty badass. It moves quick.
Yeah. Again, I don't know anything about this thing. It's a thing.
But so everyone's preparing for distance learning,
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Distance learning. All right. I've got.
So what are you gonna do?
It's a good question. All right, and it came up on we've got a Instagram shop teacher group of messengers who did you?
It came up. I didn't even see. Were they talking about it?
Yeah. You got to hop in on that for a little bit. A couple people were asking about it because some teachers have been asked, what are you going to do about remote learn? Can you create 2 weeks of lesson plans, for example, for remote learning? And as shop teachers, we're in a very unique situation because you can't remotely teach a kid how to use a bandsaw. So whatever it is, there are some remote concepts we can teach, but it's a little bit, I think, I don't want to say more of a challenge, but it's a different breed of challenge. Whereas most core teachers could kind of look at each other and trade notes, we could only look at shop teachers and trade notes on this one, I think.
Well, okay, so I got a
Maybe not
couple
only,
ideas in
but
mind. Do you have anything in mind?
if I had to do it, I've been thinking about this.
Yeah, what would you do?
If I had to do this, I would probably go very heavy on CAD.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Is that it? You got anything else?
A lot of Google Forms, quizzes, I guess, through Google
Right,
Classroom.
right.
But I would probably go heavy on CAD. I might do, hey, go watch some April Wilkerson videos or some Jimmy DiResta videos or whatever, some YouTube playlist stuff. But at a certain point, that's not sustainable long term. So
Yeah.
um, I I don't know, what would you do?
Well, I didn't have, this is like on the fly, just coming up with this right away. But I agree, CAD. I wasn't thinking that originally. I was just like today at work, I was like, we'll just do videos because some kid asked me and I was like, what? But now that I realize that, actually, yeah, it would be great if you could come up with some sort of CAD challenge. Like
Yeah,
not just, see, that's the thing is that I like the word application. You see? So
right.
like if let's say you say to a kid, okay, learn these lessons in CAD and then return them. It's almost like giving homework to myself because now I got to check it, you know? Whereas I wonder if there's a way to have a CAD challenge where you make something in CAD and then it has to almost like what we did in real life, which is like power to weight ratio or strength to weight ratio. Like make a bridge. What if you made a bridge in CAD and then the person with the best design wins, but like all virtual? Is that possible?
Well, you bring up an interesting concept because I when I first started to smell this whole phenomenon happening of possible remote learning, part of me was kind of excited because I think there's a lot of educators who haven't had this is going to sound kind of dark, but who haven't had the motivation to look into how to record a video, how to record your screen, how to produce content that can be consumed digitally as a learner, and this might be the catalyst that kind of gets a lot of us educators who are hesitant to bite into that stuff a reason to bite into it. Like, okay, well, now we've got to, so let's jump in. Like, I got to jump into this. I got to figure out how to, I got to get over being video shy, or I got to get over, like, if I'm not going to get over that, I got to still create engaging content digitally.
It's a hard one because people, I know you're, because like even now I'm like, I was worried about the lighting in the room and is it late? I'm kind of tired, but like it's still, like once you get over that hump, it's easy because we're really just having a conversation and solving problems and coming up with stuff. And if I had the, so like you're right though, but like once you got to get past that one piece. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess if I was to identify the silver lining of something this dark, then I might say that could be a silver lining. That more, including myself, are going to get more acclimated to using digital tools, and that's going to be one more tool in our toolbox, if you will. So
Right.
I think I think going into it with that attitude is going to help way more than it hurts if you're forced into that situation. So that's
Yeah, like
one of the perks. Now you brought up the challenge idea, and that's not I think that's totally doable. And this is why I think there's even, I don't know if you'd call us technological progressive, but I think you and I are more forward in embracing the new
Sure.
social
Yeah.
medias and whatnot. Even if you aren't into that type of thing, but now you've got to do it as an educator, and it you enjoy your job, or it brings positives with it. Okay, it's one more learning curve, it's one more challenge. You end up taking on this challenge concept where we can challenge. This has been what you've been talking a lot for a long time, Ron, which is going beyond the four walls of the school. Why is public school so private? And
Oh
now,
yeah, why is it so private?
you've said this a lot of times, and what I'm getting at is, you talk about, could we do a CAD challenge? Yeah, and now it's a digital CAD challenge, which means it's exposed to the world, which means your kids and my kids could possibly be competing. This could be,
Oh,
you
I
know what I
didn't
mean?
even think about that.
And this is a real thing. This is already a real thing. It's just not at the school student level that I've seen, anyways. But there are digital challenges right now on Instagram. I haven't digested all the details, but Project Build, Teach. I'll have to tag his handle. Indiana teacher, engineering teacher. He
What,
just
on a
participated.
college
Anyways,
level?
he just participated in the Builders Challenge. And what the Builders Challenge was nothing, from what I can tell. I looked into it, kind of, not a lot. Was just somebody saying, "All right, here's your constraints. Now go build." The same thing could happen at the student level. Why not?
But on CAD, on virtual?
Yeah. Right. You would need some sort of equalizer on. That's probably all right. That's the difference, because you could I'm already wondering about the remote learning concept, because I'm not sure about internet availability for everybody. I don't know
No,
how.
not everybody has it. Not
Yeah.
everybody has it.
So
They got it on their phone.
and that's a weird variable.
That's limited too, because some kids buy like really crazy plans where like it's limited, Wi-Fi. But some town, like your library always has Wi-Fi type of thing, but like well, not always, but most libraries have Wi-Fi. But and in Englewood, in the town, there's actually Wi-Fi on the street.
Really?
Yeah, and then
That
every Starbucks has Wi-Fi, but the kids access, even though we're like 15 minutes to New York City, might be limited. It might be limited
it would be
because they
very
don't.
it would be very uncomfortable for me to make the assumption that all of my kids have internet access.
Yeah,
In fact,
it
I
might
don't.
not be the case.
Yeah.
And
Like,
and I don't have internet at the house. I'm
yeah,
using network right now.
data,
Oh,
which
data.
you could run out of, and who's to tell you for the data plan that you're paying for that you have
Right.
to use it for school.
Yeah. Interesting. They did a survey at the school to find out who has access. So they found out like a percentage. I don't know what the number was, but they did start asking that.
Well, and
And
this came up in the shop teacher Instagram chat, because
oh, really?
well, that was one of my first questions when this first came across the chat, because people, I'm going to pull it up here and try and reference it here
Yeah,
before
pull it
my
up.
battery dies. But people were referencing this coronavirus and have to come up with options. And my very first thought was, even okay, first of all, not all my kids have reasonable, legitimate access as much as you would think. Like, it's very easy to think once you get the smartphone in your hand that like everyone has access to it and all that stuff, and it's not hard to access. But a lot of my students, and it's a geographical issue where I'm at. There's literally areas where, like right now, I can only get one internet service provider. And it's either the local university, or I guess I can get two, or it's satellite internet. Like,
Hmm.
and the only reason I can get the university internet is because I'm tied to education. So there's not a lot of internet service providers where I'm at. So that's one thing. But let's say the kids got an internet service provider. Okay, it doesn't mean they've got the data. It doesn't mean they've got the access to the device.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hmm.
It does, you know, there's a
Hmm.
there's a lot there that I'm like, okay, and some of it honestly is a lot of lifestyle. I mean, you think about probably like certain regions of Appalachia have a similar thing of this kind of like old timer, where I still talk to people who don't use email, who don't have internet access at home. They literally walk to our library to use the internet if they need to use it, if they want to use it.
Yeah.
Like that,
Hmm.
there's people that still do. So what do you do about that student?
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. So I guess they could always send you. So maybe if it was reduced down to like a photograph evidence of what you did, like as a student, you could make something and then you got to take a photo of it. You could do challenges like toilet paper roll or paper towel roll challenge. Can you stack? And then you could use a kitchen. I don't know. You could come up with like household paper challenges to make stuff. But what I would say is you got to do some sort of challenge, because otherwise they're just sort of, they're just sort of doing lessons and like
Well, and that's,
whether they, yeah.
I want to know more about what these districts or what my district would expect of me, really, because like my uh my girlfriend, who also teaches English, and so she's also a teacher. We always joke about the fact that when students ask for like they're about to go on vacation for a week, and they're like, well, can you get me my work ahead of time? And first of all, usually right off the bat, as an educator, that man, I don't have next week's lesson plans down tooth and nail like you think I do.
Right.
Then your
Yeah.
second response is usually like along the lines of like, what I do can't just be condensed to a packet. And then the
Yeah.
third response is, you're not going to do it anyways.
Right. Right. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to spend my time checking whether they did it. I want to get excited about what it is they did. I can't, it's not exciting to be like, well, did you do it? Like, you know.
So
So this is actually kind of tough.
yeah, it's tough because from a remote learning standpoint, if you're saying something along the lines of, here's what you've got to do, and there's minimal accountability. There's not that face-to-face accountability even.
Yeah.
Well, who's to say, one, that they're going to do it anyways? Is to take every excuse off the table, tell them, hey, you got every access, but then go ahead and just enable. You're still not going to have full engagement. Go ahead and enable
See,
the excuses, like, oh, didn't have internet. And I shouldn't even say excuses. Some of them could be legitimate reasons. Mom wouldn't let me use the computer. My device bogged down.
yeah.
Maybe it's an excuse, maybe it's a legitimate reason, but man, teachers are not going to want to prep a bunch of work
Yeah.
to not get done.
See, now it's interesting because how do the DIY YouTubers do it? And the way they do it is the people participating and watching the videos and sending in comments and buying all the stuff are voluntary audience, unlimited by the
Yeah.
world.
Right.
Whereas we have a captive audience and they may or may not want to participate. So now we have to hold them accountable, which is kind of a crazy idea, So now when they show up at the school, you can they're there. But if they're at home, it's up to them to tune in and participate. The other part is they might have the teachers go into the school and then have the kids stay home. Did you hear about that?
No, is that a thing?
Yeah,
So
because
what is it when the teachers
the
go to
staff could go in, and
okay.
then the problem is the staff is really the ones who are vulnerable, whereas the kids are not that vulnerable, although they probably carry it.
Now, what is the staff expected to do?
I think you're going to teach from the internet or
Okay,
grade
yeah.
papers or
So we're all gonna have to get better at it somehow. All right, that's really interesting. Here's what came across the Instagram feed. When
Okay.
I just want to bring it up because a lot of the people talking about it are listening.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's see, how did it prompt up?
Okay.
All right,
Well,
we
while
got
you're trying to,
the
oh,
first
go ahead.
message. The first message came from someone by you, Zavaki Tech Ed.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
Potential 10 school days shutdown. What type of assignment ideas for potential
Oh,
10 days?
he even had like a number. We don't even have a number. We have no idea how long. But anyway, yeah, all right. So let's say 10 days. What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? All right, we got a response saying, thinking watching YouTube videos and then having them go around and take photos of wood joints and materials around the house.
That'll get old.
Yeah, but it's a day. You got 10 days. Make it a day. Yep.
Yeah, you could take pictures and then identify.
Yeah, it's
cool.
1 out of the 10 days for sure.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Let's see. Tech Ed Fireman was asked to get all the classes on Google Classroom. Do you guys use Google Classroom?
Yes.
Yeah, we do too.
Yes.
What's weird about that is, and the next person makes that point, is you can have your class on Google Classroom, but that doesn't substitute class.
No, but at least you can distribute assignments and then collect assignments and grade assignments and do announcements. But can you have a meeting? Wonder if you could have a virtual meeting.
I'm wondering if that
Zoom.
Yeah, like we're doing right now, you and I.
Oh, and Google probably has something in the works. I bet you Google's got well, they have Google Hangouts, so why couldn't you do the Google Hangout attachment to Google Classroom? I bet you that's their goal anyway, is to knock out the schools using Google
anyway. Totally. No, I think that's would it involve? And again, this isn't just coronavirus specific questions. We might all have.
This is bigger than the virus.
Yeah.
The virus is just the spark, but the oxygen and the fuel was already there.
Yeah. And in remote learning, I mean, you think about it, it's a shame that a lot of the online coursework our students are exposed to are like the really bottom of the barrel online coursework. Horrible crap, because there are some really good online courses that I think educators.
And also, they don't have enough pressure. There's probably not enough people because most of it is face to face. But online learning is becoming like a thing, like more and more. Obviously, I mean, MIT has classes. This is old news. Online. So what else did they say?
All right, so we got YouTube videos before and career exploration. A new file was added to the document about let's see, watch a YouTube video and write some stuff about it. Could be used to write a larger project written to a how-to type essay, basic research and write type thing. Someone recommended.
I mean, you could give them. Yeah, go ahead.
Someone recommended a YouTuber that they liked. The Essential Craftsman. You could. There's tons of people doing this. So yeah, you're redirecting your students towards the people that are doing it online. And that's pretty much where it kind of work towards that direction. And then my question was, are you really, if assuming all these kids have internet is an assumption you can actually make where you're at. And a lot of people are like, yeah, the district's making that assumption. And that's my thing is it's like, if the district's making assumptions about my students and they're asking me to do work based on their assumptions, either I have to create crap work because I know their assumptions are wrong, which I don't like to do. I don't like to do,
Yeah.
Or I got to create somewhat quality work only to have the return on investment be 0 3 weeks later when we all get back together and just get back to normal. If that's a thing, I don't know if that's a thing or not.
Interesting. I mean, you could do like a thing where you could do like a video and a Zoom meeting lecture. Like we're on Zoom right now.
Yeah.
And then you could like have a question thing, like a test that goes with it. But as far as application, maybe there's like, I was thinking like, is there a bridge design program where they can compete against each other? I'm not even sure, because that would be like the application, and then yeah.
We should make a shop class video game.
It totally should be. In fact, so somebody, I forget, it was Dave Janos, maybe? Yeah, there's a guy in New Jersey that's a good shop teacher, supervisor. He tweeted out tonight, right before this meeting. You're on your phone right now? Go to Dave Janos is on Twitter, and you'll see he put a virtual lathe assignment, and he said, "You're welcome." Yeah, he tweeted out. He goes, "Here's your Corona lesson plans. You're welcome."
No way. I don't have Twitter on my phone.
Okay.
I'll pull it up here though on my desktop.
Okay. There you go.
I got away from Twitter. It got kind
of. Yeah, it's crazy.
I had to take a diet. It was dark for a while.
Oh my God, it gets nuts. It's totally, especially with the election stuff and whatnot. It's totally crazy.
And educators too, like, how dare you? Yeah. That's what I call it, the how dare you effect. Everybody's got to be like, how dare you? How dare you? And it's like, whatever.
Yeah. They're crazy. People get a little bit too much. A little too much.
Yeah. So, I do want to pull this up because this guy made a arcade shop lathe, and it actually doesn't surprise me too much because somebody else I know is working on a auto mechanics virtual simulator.
Oh, that's cool. Well, no, this guy, I don't think Dave Janos made it, but he just tweeted it out. Here it is. Someone already made it. I mean, there's got to be like video games for shop class out there, and then that would be kind of good, I guess. I mean, all this stuff is like temporary, but if it were, so it's like, it like fits in a few categories. Is it 1 day outage? Is it 5 day outage? Is it 10-day outage? Or is it permanent? Those are kind of like, it fits in a couple categories, because if it's 1 day, you just have them watch videos, answer questions. If it's 5 days, they got to like do something. If it's 10 days, I think they got to not only do something, but it's got to be competitive somehow. And then if it's permanent, well, then it's kind of like, yeah, it would fit in the 10 day. I figure if you get to 10 days, that's pretty much.
Who are you telling me to look up on Twitter?
Oh, Dave Janos. So he's like a supervisor in
how do you spell that?
Janos. Let's see.
Ingenuity?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, he's a good shop teacher in New Jersey.
Oh, I'm already following him. I didn't even know that.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, is it the wood turning 3D?
Yeah.
Yes, here it is.
Can you put that up?
Yeah, let me see if I can share
the screen.
All right, share screen, boom, share, that's us. All right, okay, here it is. Woodworking teacher friends, I found your coronavirus lesson plan. You are welcome. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. I don't know if it's sharing it. Looks like that. All right. Anyways, so if you were to click on this link, wood turning 3D, you end up with my unstable internet loading this page indefinitely. And here it is, wood turning 3D on the App Store. So this is an Apple app. All right, one lathe to rule them all. It's number 4 in the simulation category. That is interesting to observe, actually.
Really?
How competitive the simulation category is going, but
I don't even know what that means.
But well, simulation, like think The Sims, Sim City, train simulator, flight simulator.
Right.
Anything where you're kind of, I guess, simulating the task at hand here. Interesting. Now, we are not an Apple friendly school, so it's not gonna work for me, but maybe.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
You're right. We have Chromebooks. That's not
Yeah.
Apple. We're not gonna work out either.
So I'm just teasing him back for his "you're welcome" comment, but unless it worked, maybe it does work.
Yeah.
Maybe it does work on. I'm sure if maybe you look up Voodoo and stuff. Anyways, I mean, we had a lot to say about all that remote stuff.
I feel like as we speak about this, there's got to be people listening to this going, "Hey guys," like almost raising their hand. "Hey guys, I got an idea. So if people have ideas, please put it in the comments. We'll put this video up on YouTube and on the podcast, right?
Yeah. We'll put the audio up on the podcast so people can chime in. And the way you chime in, we got shopclasspodcast@gmail.com to shoot an email in. But you can find both of us on Instagram. That's where most shop teachers are hanging out. And they can direct message either one of us, Mr. G's Workshop, Jack of All Learning. And we'll sneak it in or include it in another episode recording. I know we haven't released one in a bit because we've just been so busy doing so many other things, and we haven't done an off the cuff like this. But that's the evolution that's taken place. We're gonna do a little bit of everything, a little bit of off the cuff, a little bit of audience participation, and a little bit of recorded conversations with some fine edits on it.
Nice. All right, well that's pretty good. I can't wait to find out what's gonna happen. We'll give it like an update or something like that.
Corona,
let's do it. Bring on the Corona.
All right, yep, that was a good idea. That was a bad idea. That was nothing to worry about. That was something to worry about. So yeah. But, all right, man. Well, thank y'all for listening. And thank you for listening to this off-the-cuff segment, this time-relevant off-the-cuff segment. And make sure that you shoot that feedback to us.
Okay, sounds good. All right, see you later.
See ya.